Greetings, wizards. Welcome to the Papercraft Wizard channel. My name is Kelly, and I'm so excited you're here. In this video, we'll be building a hot air balloon with chains that hold the basket and a tea light in place. Let's get started. We're going to start with the first ring. For the first ring, we're going to need 8 jump rings, 8 2 1/8 inch sections of chain, and 8 3-inch sections of chain. As noted on the written guide, you want to make sure that your chain has an odd number of lengths. This is so that the chain will line up with the jump rings. To start, I'm going to grab a hold of an open jump ring. I'm going to add a section of 2 1/8 inch chain and then a section of 3-inch chain. And finally, another section of 2 1/8 inch chain. And now I'll close up that jump ring. And this is what we should have. We should have our 2 across sides, our 2 1/8 inch. Our down piece here is 3 inches. Next, I'll take another open jump ring. I'll add a 2 1/8 inch section and a 3-inch section. And now I want to add that on to my 2 1/8 inch piece here. So I'm going to grab that. I'll put that 2 1/8 inch piece on my jump ring, and then we'll close up that jump ring. And when we're finished with that, our chains should look like this. I'm going to continue to add a 2 1/8 inch piece to another jump ring. And then a 3-inch piece. And we'll add our 2 1/8 inch section from our piece we already have built. And then I'll close that jump ring up. And we're going to continue to do this until we get to the end of all of our chains. When you get to your last jump ring, you'll want to add your 2 1/8 inch section from one end of the chain, then your 3-inch section going down, and then your 2 1/8 inch section from the other end of the chain. And that will complete the ring. Unfortunately, I had my camera off when I filmed myself completing the ring. So now I have just set the ring on top of our balloon. I've made sure that we're not twisted and that everything's going in the proper direction. And so our first ring is finished. We're just going to set this balloon aside for a second as we will be building the rest of the rings onto the balloon. For our second ring, we're going to be using 8 jump rings, 8 sections of 3-inch chain, and 8 sections of 2 1/8 inch chain. So the same size chains from last time, except for this time, the 3-inch is going to go across and the 2 1/8 inch is going to go down. And we also will be connecting these to the 3-inch pieces that are going down from our first ring. So the first step is to take an open jump ring, and then our across is the 3-inch. So we're going to take a 3-inch piece, then we'll take a 2 1/8 inch piece. This is our down piece. And then we will take another 3-inch piece. And now we're just going to add it. Now we're just going to add it to one of our 3-inch sections hanging down from our first ring. Now that I have the two 3-inch sections sandwiching the 2 1/8-inch section, I'll pull up one of our 3-inch pieces that are coming down from our first ring, and I'll add that to our jump ring. And then I will close our jump ring up. Now, of course, that won't want to stay there, which is kind of a pain. All right, and so now I'll go ahead and take another jump ring. I'll add a 3-inch piece of chain. This is our cross chain. And another 2/8" of chain. Then I'm going to pull up our 3-inch side here, and I'll add that. I just want to make sure that it's going onto that jump ring correctly so that I don't have twisting. Okay, and now I'm going to add it on to our 3-inch piece that's hanging from our top ring, and we'll close up our jump ring. One of the most difficult things is keeping the chain in place while you're working with it. Keeping the chain on the balloon is really the easiest way to make sure that it's all lining up straight. Next, I'll take another jump ring and add a 3-inch piece of chain, just as we did with the last section, and then we'll add our 2 1/8" chain. Do you have a suggestion for a project you'd like to see? Let me know about it in the comments. And then I'll add that to our 3-inch chain from our first ring. And then I'll close up that jump ring. Once again, I'll take another jump ring, a 3-inch piece of chain, a 2 1/8" piece of chain, and then we'll connect our 3-inch chain from our last jump ring, and then we'll connect our 3-inch chain from our first ring that's hanging down. And then we'll close that up. And then we're going to go all the way around doing this until we get to our last jump ring. And to connect our second ring together, we're going to, of course, use a jump ring. So we'll put our across ring from my right hand side on first. And then I'll take the 3-inch chain coming down from our first ring next. I'm going to add my 2 1/8" piece that goes down, and I want to make sure that that is at the bottom of the ring. And then I'll bring in my left hand side 3-inch piece. And then I can just close that jump ring right up. Now our balloon should look about like this all the way around. So we have our first ring and our second ring completed. And now we'll be working on the third ring. The third ring requires 8 jump rings, 8 sections of chain measuring 1 7/8 inches, and 8 sections of chain measuring approximately 1 1/8 inch. Just as we've done with the previous ring, I'll begin with a jump ring. And then I'll take one of our 1 7/8 inch pieces that is going to go across, one of our 1 1/8 inch pieces that's going to go down, and another piece of 1 7/8 inches that will go across. And we'll attach that to our chain going down from our second ring. And once I have that on there, I'll close up that jump ring. And now I'll take another jump ring. I'll add a piece of 1 7/8 inches to go across. I'll take a section of 1 1/8 inch to go down. I'll attach this to our 1 7/8 inches from the last piece we just added. And then I'll attach our piece coming down from our second ring and close up that jump ring. We'll keep doing that same exact process as we go around the balloon. And now we're left with one jump ring and one 1 1/8 inch section of chain. We're going to add the chain from the right, or a cross chain from the right first. And I slid that onto the right side of my jump ring. Next, I'll take the 1 1/8 inch and slide that on the left side of my jump ring. And I'll take our 1 7/8 inch piece that we added previously to connect our ring 3. And we'll add our chain hanging down from ring 2. And we'll close that jump ring. And now our ring 3 is complete, and our balloon should look like this all the way around. Now we'll begin on our fourth ring. For our fourth ring, we'll need 8 jump rings, 8 1 1/4 inch sections of chain, 4 3 1/2 inch sections of chain, and 4 sections of 1 1/2 inch chain. Just as we have before, we'll start with grabbing a jump ring with our pliers. And then we'll add a 1 1/4 inch section of chain. We'll add a section of 1 1/2 inch chain. One more 1 1/4 inch section of chain. And then we'll add that to one of our chain pieces that are hanging down from ring 3. And we'll close up our jump ring. We'll take our next jump ring and add a 1 1/4 inch piece of chain. Then we will add a 3 1/2 inch section of chain. We'll add our 1 1/4 inch piece of chain that we just added to the jump ring. And then we'll add that to our piece of chain hanging down from ring 3. And then we'll close up that jump ring. We'll continue that pattern as we go around the balloon. Now I'm going to add this last 3.5-inch section of chain. I'll attach it to the 1.25-inch chain on the left. And then we'll add that to our chain coming down from the third ring. And now we'll attach the 1.25-inch side from our right. So now we're going to skip ring 5, go down to ring 6, and we're going to start building the chains that will hold our tea light. For this, we're going to need 1 large jump ring that's about 1/2 inch, 16 jump rings that are about 1/4 inch, 8 sections of chain that are 1/2 inch, and 8 sections of chain that are 3/8 inches. So we're going to start with a jump ring. We'll add a 3/8 inch piece of chain. We'll add that to our large jump ring. And then we'll close our small jump ring. And we'll do that for all 8 pieces of our 3/8 inch chain. Now we have all 8 of our 3 1/8 inch sections of chain added to our large ring. Now we'll start adding in our 1/2 inch chain, and those chains will go across. So I'll add a section of 1/2 inch to my jump ring. And then I will add that to 1 section of the 3 1/8. Please subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. Another section of chain to this jump ring. And I'll close up the jump ring. Next, I'll take another jump ring and add a section of chain to it. I'm going to add that to the opposite end of the section we just added. And then I'll also add that to one of the hanging chains next to it. And then we'll close that up. So right now we're adding the across sections of chain. We've already added the down sections of chain, and those are the sections we added to the large ring. So now we have this little bit of a square here attached to our ring, and we're going to keep adding a jump ring and attaching it to the chain next to it as we go. We'll add our last jump ring to our chain we just added. We'll pull up our next little chain. And add on our final connector piece. And we'll close that up. And then for this one, we already have a jump ring in place. We just need to open it back up so it's on the other side. We'll open that back up, and we'll add in our little piece of chain here to connect the ring. Now we'll go back and start ring 5. For our fifth ring, we'll use 16 1/4-inch jump rings, 8 sections of 5/8 inch chain, and 8 sections of 1/2 inch chain. Our 5/8 inch chain will be going across and our 1/2 inch chain will be going down. To start, I'm going to take a jump ring and I'm going to add 3 sections of our 1/2 inch chain. 2 that will go across and 1 that will go down. And now I'll close up the jump ring and set that to the side. We're going to make 4 just like that. Now we have our 4 jump rings with 3 sections of chain on each. This 5th ring will come off of our short chains coming down from our balloon. Our long chains we're going to leave for our basket. Next, I'll take a jump ring and I'll add one of the sections of chain from our jump ring that we added 3 chains to. Next, I'll add another section of chain to that jump ring and add that to our short chain coming down from ring 4. And now I'll close that jump ring right back up. And it should look like this. Now we'll take another jump ring. We'll add one of our 1/2 inch sections of chain. Now we'll add this jump ring to the chain that we have off to the left here. And I will add it to our short chain coming down from our 4th ring. I will add another short, I'll add another 1/2 inch section of chain. And then we'll add one of our jump rings with 3 sections just off of one of those sections. And we'll close up that jump ring. I'll move to the next short section of chain and we'll do the same thing again. So I'm going to add a jump ring to our cross chain so it looks like that. I'm going to add our short chain coming down from our 4th ring. And you want to put these in the right order so that there's no twisting of your jump ring. Next, I'll put a piece of 1/2 inch chain by itself. And then I'll add the end of one of our links of chain from the jump ring with 3 pieces of chain that we created. And we'll close up that jump ring. We'll move to our last small section of chain. I know that might be hard to see, but we're just going to connect this. So I will take a jump ring, I'll add that to the chain on the left. I'll add that to our little short chain from the fourth ring. And then I will add my short chain. And then I'll add my 1/2 inch chain. And now I'll take one of our 3 chain jump rings and I'll connect one of the pieces of chain and close up that jump ring. Now we'll open up that first jump ring we started with so that we can complete the ring. And I'm just adding that across piece of chain and we'll close that jump ring right back up. So now this is not going to be super easy to see. And now we have sort of a square. And now we'll attach this piece on to our small pieces here. I'm going to take a jump ring for each one of these pieces that's hanging down, and I'm going to add it to our jump rings that are on the edge of this piece we made here. I'll take a jump ring. I'll find an exterior ring here. And add that to one of our chains hanging down. And I'll do this all the way around, matching each of the 8 pieces hanging down to a jump ring. And now we can add our tea light in. Slide that in there, make sure all of the chains go around well. And there we have it. Our tea light will sit in there just like that. Now we'll add the basket to our balloon. To do this, we'll need 4 jump rings and 4 sections of chain measuring 2 1/4 inches. First, I will take a jump ring. I'll add a 2 1/2 inch section of chain. I'll add that to the jump ring on our basket. I'll add another 2 1/4 inch section of chain. And then I'll add that to the chain coming down from our 4th ring. And I'll close up that jump ring. I'm going to add a jump ring to the 2 1/4 inch section we added previously. I'm going to add that to a jump ring. I'll add another 2 1/4 inch section. And then I'll add that to our chain hanging down from ring 4. And we'll continue this pattern around the basket. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and ring that bell for notifications. Thank you for watching. Happy paper crafting.